This
That was
is...
one of the best you've had in a while.
Thank you. I took an inhaler hit before I got on.
I'm a little turned on.
This is the Useless News, as heard every week right here on the Big Damn Fun, the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Big Dumb
The
Fun
Big Damn
Show.
Dumb Fun Show.
Big Dumb Fun Show.
Big Dumb Fun Show, as always sponsored by the fine folks at Uncle Rusty's Pure Pork Salsa. Funny story to tell you about Uncle Rusty's and the rinse. I'll have to get into a little bit later tonight.
Makes me poop.
As well. So things are pretty uptight, I guess, in the Ukraine because women's rights activists in Kiev staged a topless protest against a radio station's competition to win a Ukrainian wife.
I thought you were going to say, like a spot on the radio station.
Yeah, this is a little bit better, actually, because you actually get something out of it.
Protest.
We had A.G. Finney on last week, Kelly.
We can do that.
He won the Radio God contest that I was a part of.
He didn't even know it.
He had no idea that he'd even won, because that's why they hired him, is because he did not know that
he wasn't going to get the 50,000.
Carrying banners saying Ukraine is not a brothel, the women were opposing the contest by New Zealand rock station Rock FM. I think we're on there. 9 women
Shut up. No, we're not.
protested topless in bitterly cold weather outside of Kiev's marriage registration office, reports the BBC. The Rock FM this week announced that its competition was won by a winemaker named Greg. The competition has caused controversy in New Zealand too, but the station said it was just a bit of a laugh.
He's like, hi there, my name is Greg. I am a winemaker.
I make the wine. And I
Kiev.
stop the grapes.
It's Kiev, it's Russia.
At the end of the day, it's...
Our wine tastes like vodka.
Yeah, but it was the guy
found-
who won was from New Zealand.
I found toenail in my wine. At the end of the day, it's up to both people if they decide to get married and return to New Zealand, says Rock FM program director
Normally in
Brad
Russia,
King.
toenail finds you.
Competition is due to fly into the coal mining town of Donetsk on March 23rd before traveling to Zaporia as a part of a 12-night holiday in Ukraine.
You know why? The guy was from Iceland and he won because the only woman over there is like Bjorg.
Yeah.
She looks like Steve Williams.
Yeah, and they're like, no.
God, have you seen
Maybe there's a Ukrainian woman out there.
these Ukrainian women are super hot. Like, and they do the mail order bride. It's perfectly legal
And the
in the
exchange
UK.
rate kicks ass.
And you know, with the they're saying that we're not a brothel. First of all, you don't actually buy the women in the brothel. You don't like take them home, have to care for them, feed them and stuff.
You don't have to marry him.
Yeah, you don't have to marry them in the brothel. That's,
You don't
that's
have-
the,
you don't-
the genius of the brothel.
You don't like win a night at the brothel on a radio station.
You go in.
Well, I mean, if you did, that would be
You
great.
go in, yeah,
Awesome.
exactly.
Kelly,
Like with
we
the
got
brothel,
a promotion we want
If
to
you
talk to
go
you about.
in, you go in, you get your Zamboni ridden,
Yes.
and you get out.
Perfectly legal if you're in a legal brothel.
The guy was a winemaker from Iceland,
As a part of the
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
as a
Sorry,
part of the prize terms and conditions, where did Iceland come up in any of this?
I have no idea, because Gunnerk's not paying.
It's
He's
an
having a Kelly
island.
moment. He's not paying attention.
The winner chooses a woman from the Endless Love dating agency in advance. Now, we've had people on the show.
Listen, the endless love does end. Believe me.
The agency then arranges the holiday to the Ukraine and begins the two together. The price also includes the use of a translator and a river cruise. Hi-oh! Here's the deal. This is exactly like The
Hey.
Bachelor. This is exactly like The Bachelor, right?
A wrong kind of
They're
cruise.
saying we're giving away a Ukrainian wife, but you're actually just giving... She's just dating you. If you guys get married, then fine. That's up to you.
If you choose to take her home, that is up to you.
But we want 10%. 10%, please.
Well, you have to pay them a
Normally
ridiculous
it's-
amount of money whether or not you get married.
Yeah. Would you ever entertain the mail order bride idea? The whole idea? of
I know
getting
someone
a-
who did.
How much is postage?
It's not the stamp, it's where you lick it.
I know someone who actually did that. He tried to order
Yeah.
a bride.
Yeah,
He paid for her to come over.
Yeah.
And then she never came.
never came. Yeah, see, what you got to do is you got to go over there and get them.
Not always.
You got to go over there and you got to go get them from like Vietnam.
Yeah, because otherwise, like you send a ticket, you send money. It's not like it's a direct flight to your house. Like I'm waiting at the airport. Like she had 3 other stops.
No, so that's why you got to overnight that UPS.
I mean, if she checks out my Facebook, she's going to be like, "Listen, I'm going to land in New York and stay there."
I'm gonna take my chances at the Big Apple.
I will be there, please.
A Polish man, so you know it's got to be good. A Polish man had to be rescued by Coast Guards after he drifted out of the sea on a sheet of ice, clutching a bottle of vodka.
Sounds like my kind of man.
Michael Kowalski, age 23, had been drinking with his pals in Gansk when he decided to test the strength of the ice forming beside the shore. As he clambered on, a piece broke away and swept Mr. Terrified Kowalski into the Baltic Sea by a powerful
He wasn't
current.
terrified. He was drunk. He probably thought it was funny.
We
Yeah,
dared
Mr.
him.
Kowalski was one sheet to the wind.
His friends, one ice sheet. His friends say, we dared him to do it, and it seemed like a good idea after a few hours of drinking. Everything
Yeah,
does.
of course. And
He then bid on a Ukrainian wife.
and then when he drifted out to sea,
I know that I've had days where I've been really hammered and I've thought about doing something and I'm like, that's a bad idea. And I'm like, if it's a bad idea when you're drunk,
It's a real
it's
bad
a
idea.
horrible idea when you're sober.
There was a loud crack, and then he started to float away. We thought it was funny at first, but then he really started to scream for help.
and then we thought it was really funny.
The
But at least
friends,
he had his vodka.
the friends rushed to the Coast Guard. It only took him 12 hours to get to
12 hours?
No. The Coast Guard had already spotted him bobbing up one of their observation posts. The Coast Guard was going to pull him over and give him a ticket.
They were watching the whole time.
Yeah, they were like, hey, look at this guy over here. They're
You're
watching
icing
from a
under the
distance.
influence.
Yeah,
An
they're
IUI.
They're just like, hey, Ernie, check this out. Look at this guy over here. He's on a sheet of ice.
I don't know about that guy.
He had drifted about a kilometer out to sea by the
Oh,
time.
jeez.
But we were able to get him to safety. He spent the night in the hospital being treated for hypothermia, which is never fun. Mr. Ashamed-faced Mr. Kowalski later told local media, well, I won't be doing that again.
And then next week we have another segment.
By that, he doesn't mean drinking.
Natalie Williamson claims that she, her 7-month-old son, Riley, and now her estranged husband were on a Virgin flight from Fiji to Sydney. We've all been there. When the flight attendant picked up Riley, their kid,
The baby.
and placed him in the overhead bin.
Shut the front door.
Virgin has admitted that it was an incident and that it did take place, but claims that Miss Williamson's husband was playing a peekaboo game with Riley involving the overhead compartment when the flight attendant joined in.
Really? It was a peekaboo game?
We conducted a thorough investigation of the incident,
What
and
does
the staff
Richard
member
Branson
involved
think of this?
was
Doesn't he own
subsequently
Virgin?
terminated, a Virgin spokesman said. The airline offered Miss Williamson 3 free flights, but the mother said she is too shaken by the midair experience to redeem them.
Right. So she's going to sell them on eBay.
4 flights.
Four
4 flights. My husband, Shane...
It was a peekaboo game.
He was standing 1 meter behind my son, Riley, when the air steward picked him up, placed him in the overhead compartment.
And closed the door.
I stood up, and there were people laughing. I said, get my son out of there right now! I was devastated, absolutely devastated. I was crying. My husband was in shock. For days on end, I was crying.
All we could think about is, man, we've got to at least get 4 or 5 tickets.
Did they take the damn baby out of the bin?
No, they
My name
left
is
the
still
baby.
there.
My name is Venkman. That is the Useless News on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Submit your own crap to the show. Useless News at BigDumbFunShow.com or on the Facebook. Search Useless News.
Hey baby, wake up from your sleep. We have arrived onto the future and the whole world is become electronic, supersonic, supersonic.